In this tutorial, the 5 different multiplication methods will be demonstrated. The 5 methods include the array method, FOIL, partial products, the traditional regrouping method, and lattice multiplication. The first step in multiplying 56 times 43 in the array method is to take that first factor of 56 and place it into its expanded form, 50 plus 6. We then expand 43 into 40 plus 3. The next step is to find the two largest factors, 50 times 40. We can multiply 5 times 4 and get 20. By multiplying by 2 multiples of 10, we add 2 zeros for a total product of 50 times 40 equaling 2,000. The next step is to take 40 times 6. We know that 4 times 6 is 24. By multiplying by a multiple of 10, we can simply add the 0 and get our next small product to be 240. Following that same set of steps, we multiply 3 times 5 and get 15. But 3 times 50 is 150. And finally, we have 3 times 6 equaling 18. The final step is to add all 4 of those products. 2,000 plus 240 plus 150 plus 18, giving us a final product of 2,408. The FOIL method stands for first, outer, inner, last. Inside the parentheses, the two first numbers are 50 times 40. Much like the array method, we get a product of 2,000. Next, we multiply our two outer numbers, and we get a product of 150. By multiplying our two inside numbers, we get a product of 240. And by multiplying 6 times 3, we get a product of 18. Much like the array method, we then add those 4 products. 2,000 plus 240 plus 150 plus 18. Again, giving us the product of 2,408. Partial products is sometimes often known as the M method also. As you'll see, the steps we take form the capital letter M. The first step is to multiply 5 times 4. However, we're in the tens place for both of those numbers. So 5 times 4 is 20, but multiplying by 2 tens actually multiplies by 100. The next step will be to multiply 50 times 3, giving us 150. The third step would be to multiply 6 times 40, giving us 240. And the final step would be to multiply 6 times 3, giving us our final partial product of 18. Again, adding those 4 partial products gives us the final product of 2,408. In our traditional method, we begin in the ones place at the bottom factor. 3 times 6 is 18. So we place the 8 in the ones column and regroup the 110 into the tens place. The next step we multiply is 3 times 5, which is 15, plus 1 gives us 16. We regroup that 10 tens into the hundreds place. There's nothing else to add or multiply, so we drop it down. The crucial next 2 steps are to cross out the regroupings because they've been accounted for. And because we're now multiplying 56 times 40, we place our 0 in the tens place as a shortcut. Now we can multiply 4 times 6, which is 24. So we put down our 4 and regroup our 2 above the tens place. 4 times 5 is 20, plus 2 is 22. Previously, we had 4 partial products to add. Now we've cut that in half by doing some mental math and some regrouping. When we do so, 8 plus 0 is 8, 6 plus 4 is 10, regrouping, giving us 4 in the hundreds place, and again, the same product, 2,408. The last method is called the lattice method. We are going to multiply 56 times 43. Now that we've established our pattern, we have a 2-digit by 2-digit multiplication problem. Thus, we have to have 4 smaller grids. The lattice method provides a way for us to account for place value without creating confusion with additional zeros. So you may multiply any of those two factors in any sequence. 5 times 4 is 20. 6 times 3 is 18. 4 times 6 is 24. And 3 times 5 is 15. With the individual factors already established, we can now add down the shoots. There's only one digit in the ones place. That gives us 8. 4 plus 1 plus 5 gives us 10. We must be careful to regroup. 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 0 is 3, plus 1 is 4. And we have only 1, 2 in the thousands place, so it slides down on its own. What's important is to place those numbers in order from largest to smallest. We then work back, counting 1, 2, 3, and place our comma into the thousands place. Again, giving us the product 2,408. In summary, we've showed you all 5 ways to get the same product: the array method, FOIL method, partial products, regrouping method, and lattice. Of those 5, the purpose is to create an understanding of multiplication and get to the goal of ultimately learning to regroup in the traditional method.